All right, we're gonna race the range truck in the quarter mile. Look at how it gathers speed, holy sh**. Go. Oh no, I'm not in drive. This is the Lucid Sapphire, the quickest accelerating mass production car on sale today. According to Lucid, it can do 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, run solid 8-second quarter miles all day, and go over 200 miles an hour for less than a tenth of the cost of the quickest car overall, the Rimac Nevera. Even at $250,000, the Sapphire is technically a good performance value. But far from simply being quick, it also holds 5 people and a bunch of luggage. And today, Zack and I are taking it on a 1,000-mile road trip from LA to Sonoma and back to do a track day on one of America's finest circuits. All right, so look, this is predominantly a track video. This thing is super, super fast, has all the high performance goodies put on it. And so the goal is to see how it drives in that situation.
Right.
But we also got to go 400 miles to get to the track. So we met up with our friend Ali of Range Energy, and we are caravanning with him the rest of the way. And we've learned a few things on this portion of the drive.
Some good things, some bad things.
Folks, today's video is brought to you by Movaglobe. These things are the coolest. We've got them here at the studio and they just mesmerize people. Movaglobes are some of my favorite gifts for friends and family. If someone moves into a new home, if they get a new gig, man, they are so cool. These globes are not connected to any power source and they spin and swirl on their own from light, and not even natural light. The lights in your office, the lights in your house, that makes them work. There's no cables, there's no batteries, they are powered by light. Movaglobes come in different sizes, and there's art globes, there's realistic globes like the Earth or planets, there's satellite view globes, there's sports team globes. There's a globe for every taste at their website. So head over there, go shopping, get one for yourself, get one for your dad, get one for your mom, get one for a friend, and use code SmokingTire at checkout. Hit the link in the video description, type in code SmokingTire at checkout, 10% off at Movaglobe, and thank you to Movaglobe for sponsoring today's video.
One of the things we loved about the Lucid Air was how it rode on bumpy stuff. So the question, of course, is, does this still do that? And have they fixed some of the gremlins that we've hated about the other cars we've driven, or what else have they improved?
Right. So the first thing I really notice is that you give up almost nothing from a regular Lucid in everyday driving. It may have stickier tires, it may have a sportier suspension, but it's quite lovely in everyday situations.
Absolutely.
The seats have more bolstering, but they can be made pretty comfortable. They still have hot, cold, and massage. And there's tons of room in here for, you know, spreading out while you're on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I could sit behind myself, and then also the seats are super adjustable in every dimension. Bolstering, thigh bolstering, the length of everything, like you can really tailor it to fit you. So it can hug you on the track, and then also we can open it up and then turn on the massager, which I have to say is one of the best massage seats I've ever experienced.
It's a
I'm
good
usually
massage.
not a fan, but it's a pretty good massage.
It is good, and it has a big enough battery that you know, if you can go quite a long way even at pretty high speeds. You can't go the full 427, but you can still do 300 and change at, you know, medium high speed. So that's good. The computers are faster than other Lucids I've driven, so let's say that's an improvement. And the build quality feels really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Not to mention, the Sapphire aesthetic makes the Lucid shape look great.
Definitely. The dark color hides some of those panel gaps we noticed on the Air, and also the wing on the back does help balance out what I think is like the really long nose. So it does look better than the other one.
There are a couple of issues. One is we put in our friend Ali's address into the nav, and it straight up took us to the wrong place.
Yes.
Like, not the business name, and it found the wrong business name. Like 12345 Smith Street, and it took us somewhere and was like, you're here, and we weren't even on the right street. Also, the proximity door locks are still a total and complete mystery. When they lock, when they unlock, why they do either of those things. I cannot figure it out. I've never been able to figure it out. Johnny Lieberman almost locked himself in this car at Good Vibes a couple weeks ago, and that's still just a deep, deep, dark mystery. I don't get it. And lastly, while searching for a charging station using Lucid's native GPS, right? We're planning a route to our hotel. We want to stop and charge on the way. It doesn't seem to be able to filter charging stations by fast charge. It can filter by Electrify America, which is the preferred one. There's a toggle for EA only versus all brands. But if you can't find an EA and you search for all brands, it doesn't then go, well, these are the fast ones and these are the slow ones. So you then have to go to the phone to do that. So there's an extra step there.
Because it doesn't even display, let alone filter, it doesn't even display the charging speeds available, which the Volkswagen ID4 that I drove a few years ago that had so many navigational problems, at least did that. Right.
So that's our road trip notes for Lucid and for you. Other than that, man, is this thing nice.
So nice. Such a nice place to sit. Everything looks really nice. This like woven fabric they use for some of the panels just looks really good. I mean, that's what the other ones we've driven looked really good. Architecturally, or like design-wise, I really like this car.
Yeah, it feels great. It's comfortable, and it's, as you will see in the rest of this video, blindingly, brain-meltingly fast when that's what you need.
Yeah.
But on a road trip, you don't really give up anything by getting the fast one, which is good.
It's good. Oh, we should also talk about, so the radar cruise is pretty good, and then its lane keeping assist is not as good as Blue Cruise, I would say. Or Super Cruise.
It's not.
It cheats slightly right in the lane. It did a good job sometimes, but then when the paint changed, it seemed to get a little confused and was kind of cheating to the right of the lane, which made me feel a little uncomfortable next to semi-trucks, but it's pretty good.
And I was using it with my hand resting on the bottom of the steering wheel, and it very frequently reminded me to put my hand on the wheel, even though my hand was already on the wheel.
Yeah.
So it only recognizes on the wheel as being in certain places.
It's like the corners. So it's like you're holding the luggage from the handle.
Yeah.
And for some reason it thinks you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. So that's that. We're going to proceed. We're going to charge it one more time. And then tomorrow we're going to Sonoma Raceway. We're going to run some laps. Range Energy is a company founded by our good friend Ali Javedan, and you should check out his appearance on the Smoking Tire podcast because he really knows his stuff. Range Energy is hybridizing the semi-truck trailer to drastically improve both the performance and the efficiency of both diesel and electric tractor trailers. By adding a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack slung under the box, an electric drive axle, and a proprietary kingpin sensor where the trailer connects to the truck, Range's trailers can provide power, regenerative braking, traction control, and more to any semi-truck without any other connection. And we're holding 15 miles an hour on the floorboard.
And then boop.
Trailer on.
Whoa. Yeah.
I mean, instantly.
Instant 5 miles per hour shift.
10 miles an hour. Ali likes tech and Ali likes racing. And in order to combine those things, he's rented Sonoma Raceway for the day to show off what their trailers can do to prospective customers, and also so he and his friends, that means us, can have a bit of a play on the track. All right, we're gonna race the Range truck in the quarter mile with them getting a 20-second head start.
So that is now an 8-wheel drive semi-truck, right?
only one driven axle.
Only one, so
it's
6.
Yeah, 4-wheel drive front,
right,
and then the electric
one in the
axle
back.
on the back.
So 6-wheel drive semi-truck.
And they just ran this thing in the quarter mile without the trailer on. It did 39 seconds at 30 miles an hour. With the trailer on, 29 seconds at 55 miles an hour.
Okay, oh, a lot faster.
This car is supposed to be 9 seconds at 155 miles an hour.
Now, Lucid told us that unless the tires are really warmed up from a burnout, it might not run a 9, and we haven't done a burnout.
No,
so
this is ice cold tires.
Yeah. This is such a gap to give another drag racer before we start. I mean, it's almost like you get to the finish line, and then we fire the rocket. Do you want me to count with stopwatch?
Okay, now we're good. Okay, and go. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 15, 1,000, 16, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000, 19, 1,000, 21,000. Oh, my brain is going out my back. There's 100. Oh my God, 130.
Oh my God.
140, 150.
No factor. No problem. Whoa.
That was quick.
Wow.
Wow. It from 0 to 80, it moves. Like, I'm not talking about acceleration. I'm talking about laterally. And you have to actually make some corrections.
Well, that's probably where it starts putting on peak torque, peak power, because it's gripped up, enough. But then you have to kind of manage it. And then that jump from 60 to 110 happened as quickly almost as like 0 to 70.
Yeah, that was, wow.
I mean, in the right mode and with the right, tire temp and everything, this is 0 to 60 like 1.95 or something like that. But honestly, the 60 to 110 pull was even more impressive to me.
That was real fast.
What a great race. We raced for pinks, right? We now get that truck with all the technology.
We now keep it. We race for patent rights. Before heading out on track, you need to get the Sapphire into the right drive mode, and there are a lot to choose from. When you're driving an electric car on track, it's important you get your modes right. So there's 4 main modes here on the Sapphire. You've got Smooth, which is for everyday driving, and in fact is mostly front-wheel drive. And then you've got Swift, which is sort of like a sport mode that moves the power rearward and ups it to about 800 horsepower from 700, which is smooth, but it leaves the steering and suspension in comfort mode. Then you've got Sapphire mode, which bumps the power up to around 1,000. That's for sort of maximum attack mode, for sort of short bursts or a canyon drive where you want those blasts of power, but where you're not necessarily going to be pushing the car to its limit. Then you've got track, and then track has 3 sub menus. You've got your drag strip, and the battery will precondition for optimum quarter-mile performance. It will also play with the traction control and launch control accordingly. You've got hot lap, and that's sort of like a qualifying mode. If you want to run one really fast lap, it'll just set everything to kill. And then you've got endurance, and endurance is sort of the same as Swift, where the power is around 800, but the rest of the settings are set to sport with the traction control and all those other things, the suspension in a sporty mode. And that's what we're going to be using on the track today. What's so crazy about these cars, these ultra high performance EVs, is how normal they feel at normal speeds. There's nothing about moving out through this paddock right now that indicates I am piloting something that can do an 8-second quarter mile or, set an EV track record. And that's what's so amazing. It's about the breadth of ability. But we're here to see focused ability at Sonoma, so let's go. Oh boy. Big ceramic brakes, 10 pistons in the front, and a special compound on the disc itself to help manage the stopping power for this 5,300-pound sedan. As I come down here and I hit the brakes, the little bumps activating just individual corners of the ABS. And I have to say, it's trite, but the Sapphire does shrink around you, right? It doesn't have rear steer, but the balance right here with just a little hint of oversteer that we're getting from that 3-motor design.
Another thing they changed with the Sapphire is the traction control. It is now adjusting torque 1,000 times per second. 1,000 times per second. Torque is being managed front, rear, left, right, sent where it needs to be, where it's most useful. Oop, little hot, little hot. That is so incredible. Processing speed is ridiculous. And with all those computers, you still get a lot of really good, genuine sensation. I can feel the front when it washes out. I can feel the motor tucking it in. You know, the torque can shift all over the place and almost change the wheelbase. Obviously, it doesn't actually change the wheelbase, but it feels like it does. It feels like it shortens it for agility, and then you floor it, and it's so stable, it feels like it grows by 2 feet. You're gonna brake early. You got front motors, you got torque managing everything all over the place. The busiest air traffic controller in the world, directing 1,000 planes per second. 120, 130. Oh, God bless these brakes. These 10 pistons, the crazy carbon weave they have on them now, they're 3 times more thermal efficient. They have gotten a little spongy at times today, but the engineers assured us that it would be a lot worse if we had the old brakes.
The hardest part, by far, of driving a super high-powered EV on the track is knowing when and where to brake, right? You don't have a frame of reference the way that you would in a gas-powered car. In a gas-powered car, you go, okay, well, this is a 3rd gear corner, and I'm in 5th gear. So I need to go down 2 gears and that's it. In this car, I have no idea how fast I'm going. I'm not gonna look at my speedometer, and I have no idea how much I need to slow down, which makes tracking an EV particularly challenging and requiring a lot of extra focus. It's doable, and it's a unique set of experiences. The kind of thing I live for. I love unique experiences, but I don't really know how to talk to the car. Jesus, it's so fast though. The power is just insane. And I'm not even in kill, I'm in endurance right now. Look at how it gathers speed, holy shit. Wow, that was a $125 right there. Whoa, this thing is moving.
The learning curve here is aggressive. The steering is really quick in this car, and you can feel what the front tires are doing. I can feel that squeal you hear, the little vibrations that come from the tire starting to scrub. Transmits, it's really nice. It's been really easy to notice when the car is gonna understeer a little bit, unlike the Aston Martin Vantage. Speaking of the Vantage, this car uses the same Bilstein Sky 2-way adjustable dampers. What does that mean? That means that the shocks adapt for compression and rebound in 2 ways each. So they can adjust their high speed and low speed compression and rebound on the fly. That is amazing. So you can be going on you can be on a smooth racetrack and it'll firm up for you, but if you hit a bump mid-corner, it soaks that up too. That's why the Lucid has such good ride on the street, even though the suspension is a little bit stiffer than it was in the air, even though the springs are stiffer. The bushings are all stiffer by about 20 to 30%. The car still rides really good. Car corner is pretty flat, but not too flat. It doesn't feel artificial. For such a digital vehicle, it's pretty incredible that there is some genuine fun that comes through the steering wheel. And these comfortable seats are holding me in plenty well. This track has a lot of directional changes, and I'm really not having to hold on to the steering wheel.
But it's such a refined experience. No sound, very smooth ride, very compliant chassis, that I just don't know how fast I'm going. They need to like invent different braking points for cars like this, because it gathers speed at just this unbelievable rate. And I'm not sure it's fun. It's impressive, it's wild, it's pretty nuts, but like, is this what I want to spend my weekend doing, lapping this? And to that degree, who's it for? I mean, what does it do on the street that the regular Lucid doesn't do on the street? That's very impressive as well, for half the price of this. I mean, do you guys want this to be the track car?
Man, it's such a weird thing. On the one hand, it is so fun because it feels so well set up. Dynamically, it is so good. Look, if you're gonna have an electric super sedan, I want it to feel like this. But as so many people have said, you lose the sound. And you know, after riding in some fast cars here, some fast gas cars, I think I just forgot how magical that is and how important it is to the overall driving experience. And honestly, this highlights how why people love those Ioniq 5 gears so much, because at least it's another bit of information, it's another bit of experience, you know, it's another spice in the food.
You have to respect the engineering that goes into this. Every bit of nuance, the power delivery, the composure, the braking ability. The team that has done this, unbelievable. Seatbelt is cinched up on me. But at the same time, it's not the kind of experience that I would seek to have on a racetrack or even a canyon road every weekend. It's digitized and it's not sensational once you get over the acceleration, which is spectacular. It's not my idea of automotive recreation, but I am impressed. Here we are at one of the most challenging racetracks in the country with a 5,300 pound sedan running very respectable times. And I drove here 400 miles with the massage seats on. I'm gonna do the same thing the other way, and I've burned no gas in the process. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool.
And remember, always fight your tickets on the Off the Record app available in the Android and iOS store, or go to offtherecord.com/TST.